Welcome. My name is Brandon Morris, and this is the BT Experience. Today, I have an interesting question to ask everybody, and hopefully, this brings up a nice conversation within the community. My question is, are Luffy gears his transformations? We all know that Zoan's transformations are three different types, right? You have the man, the hybrid, and the beast. Now, we only have 3 users in the whole series that has something of the human no me, and that's Tony Chopper with the human fruit, literally. You had Sengoku with the mystical type Buddha, and you have now Luffy with the sun god Nika fruit. Now, you know, with Tony Chopper, he has probably the most forms of a Zoan type ever. But he uses his rumble ball to get to those different points, or his different points that he called them, right? The different transformations. So he's the only devil fruit user that we know that has multiple types outside of the 3 Zoan types, right? And then I looked at Sengoku and his mystical Buddha human fruit. And then a question came up like, okay, well, we only seen 2 types of forms from him. His man form and his hybrid form, right? When we're talking about Luffy and his transformations, what gear are his transformations? Because, you know, the Zoans has 3 different types. So my question to you are, do you believe that Luffy's gears are his Zoan transformations? In my opinion, this is only my personal opinion. I want to hear from everyone. So please leave comments down below, and we can get back to this conversation. I really would like to hear from you. But in my personal opinion, I don't believe that his gears are his transformations. Now, we can go down and break down each gear, and I will later on in the video. But for this moment right here, I'm just want to state that I believe that Gear 2 and Gear 3 are his man forms. I want to say Gear 4, all his Gear 4s, his Bounce Man, Tank Man, and Snake Man are all his hybrid forms. And I would like to state that his Beast form would be his Awakening form. Now I'm going to break down each gear and tell you the reason why I feel like that, you know, like I said, Gear 2 and Gear 3 aren't his transformations, because those aren't Zoan transformations. And I'm going to give my reasons and take on it. And hopefully, you know, if you don't agree, please comment. I just want to bring up a topic of a conversation, because this is something that I feel like we should have a little bit more clarification on, especially when we find out he is a Zoan type. So Gear 2. So we found out with the fight with Lucci that exactly what happens in Luffy's body in Gear 2. He's pretty much doping himself by pumping his blood, raising his blood pressure in his body to enhance his skills, right? But also it's causing him to have a red tint on his body, and also to extinguish smoke from his body. And also, they stated in the anime and manga that this transformation is definitely taking years off his life. So you're telling me a Zoan transformation is harmful to you personally, right? And when you talk about that, it cannot be one of your Zoan transformation. It might be a technique that you have, but it can't be a Zoan transformation. I don't see that. And I mean, please remind me, when the last time you saw a Zoan transformation causes more harm to the user than anything else? Because if this is a huge drawback that is taking years off your life, this isn't a technique that you can always use or rely on like that, because it's causing you, it's a double-edged sword. It's hurting you and helping you at the same exact time. Then you have third gear. Third gear is where he bites into his thumb and blow into his thumb like a balloon, inflating his bones and able to transfer that power from one limb to the next limb, as we seen when he did gigantic pistol and gigantic axe. He's able to move that power, that blown up bone, from one bone to the next bone because the body's rubber. But still, this is still not a Zoan transformation, and I'm looking for a Zoan transformation after, especially after you told me that he's a Zoan type. I don't want to know uh techniques. I want to see your transformations, because this is a time where it actually come into play that you are a Zoan by showing your different types. Now we can definitely go into fourth gear. Fourth gear is broken down into three different forms, right? We have Bounce Man, Tank Man, and Snake Man, right? And in my personal opinion, those are his transformations, right? Those are his Zoan transformations. Those are his hybrid transformations, in my opinion. Please, please. This is definitely all my opinion right now. I really want to hear from you to maybe persuade me to see on your side, right? So take a minute and hear what I'm saying, and as I go into each fourth gear transformation that we do have available. Going with the first fourth gear transformation, Bounce Man. Wow. Bounce Man was amazing first time ever seen it. Amazing, okay? How he transformed with the Goma Goma no Mi, or the Sun God Nika fruit, um, with the formation on his body like that, it was really good. I definitely love how it was animated and how it looked, the design of it, and it was very very powerful. And in my opinion, this would be his hybrid transformation, or his first hybrid transformation. And the reason why I feel like that, because when you look at the fourth gear, it is very close to how he looks. Well, not the pump up version, but how the features are. He looks like he's going into his awakening, because now you have, not on Bounce Man. I know you have on Tank Man and Snake Man. You have the little smoke that goes around you, but I don't believe on Bounce Man you have that same smoke around you on a constant basis. But seeing that you did have to use your hockey to help you transform into this, it still brings up question: is this a Zoan transformation? But I would think that this would probably be the closest to one of your Zoan transformations that we have had before, because Gear 2 and Gear 3 aren't a Zoan transformation. It's not. So, and also, we have a 10-minute time limit with your hockey on this transformation. So, and now it's based on something else that's not just a straight transformation. There's never shown to be a time limit when Zoan go into their transformations. And now we have a 10-minute time limit on any of the Gear 4 transformation, because it's based off, and the usage of Gear 4 is mainly combining his rubber property with the hockey. So if you have both of those together, I guess you did do the transformation. Oh, Tank Man. Okay, in my opinion, complete gag transformation. Something that a stuffed Luffy came up with in the moment of, because he was too big to be, too fat to become Bounce Man. So his body took on a whole different form, and in my opinion, is the funniest thing ever, right? But we only seen too much of it. We only seen it one time, so I'm not gonna sit here and go on and on about that being a Zoan transformation. But it is the transformation nonetheless. So it's pretty much this kind of same kind of transformation as Bounce Man, but he was full and he was fat and round. So we end up having Tank Man. Then you have my favorite Gear 4 form, Snake Man. Snake Man, when you first seen it against Katakuri, was crazy, especially when Bounce Man kept failing time and time again against Katakuri. He had to come up with something different, something faster, something that Katakuri Future Sight couldn't really predict and see. And he came, and we know he came up with Snake Man doing the training with Rayleigh, but it was hot. It was hot, and again, this form, in my opinion, is the closest to him being a hybrid form of the Sun God Nika Fruit. If you look at Snake Man, he literally looks like how Luffy is in Gear 5, with him being a little bit more aggravated because he looks more mad. You can see the circles around his eyes like that. He brings this very I guess aggressive look to him, but with the smoke and everything, he looks like the Sun God Nika. The hair transform going up like the Super Saiyan. It actually looked really good, and I really feel like this one is his peak hybrid transformation. I guess I couldn't say peak hybrid transformation, but this is definitely his hybrid transformation. Bounce Man and Snake Man are his hybrid transformation, in my opinion. Okay, if you do not agree, please comment down below. Let's get back to this conversation. Now we got to talk about Gear 5, especially when it just basically was revealed like this on the animated version was, and it looked amazing. Now you can definitely tell that Snake Man and Gear 5 are like so close related to each other. I mean, especially from the look of the design of the characters. I know Luffy's a lot more muscular in his snake form and more like free in his Gear 5 form, but they have a lot of similarity traits. I mean, if you look at how the hair stands up, how the smoke cloud goes around him like that. But other than that, there's not too many more features. But that's the beast form, in my opinion. In my opinion, again, this is Luffy's beast form. In my opinion, Gear 5 is his beast form, right? This is the form that is closely resemblance to the Sun God Nika, and that is your fruit right there. So why wouldn't this be your beast form out of all things? Now, we probably will see more gears later on, because I really don't think that this is his peak. But right now, I think we finally have seen all of his forms. But to wrap things up, I just want to ask my question one more time. Do you think that Luffy gears are his Zoan transformation? And like I said, in my opinion, I feel like Gear 2 and Gear 3 are his man form. And then you have Gear 4th, all the Gear 4s, his hybrid forms. And Gear 5 is his beast form. Now, I would definitely like to hear from everybody. I know everybody's about to go crazy about this conversation, but please comment, like, subscribe to the video. I definitely want to hear from everyone out there. Please stay tuned for the next video.